So one thing that we've done with G3 is that we have completely re-engineered the MIDI, and it's really great. So let's go to any preset, and then we drop down into the MIDI menu. You can see here, we'll go to MIDI out. We have up to 15 separate MIDI messages that we can send. And that can include PC messages, CC messages. We can map them to anything that we like. And we can also use that with our 2 expression pedal inputs to send multiple MIDI messages, CC messages, and control things with the expression pedal. If we go to, say, this preset here, and I turn on the timeline here, we get our preset, which sounds like this. But underneath that preset, if I go down to tap tempo, I can actually set out the MIDI parameters that controls the tap tempo within the timeline. So I've now pressed that button. It's brought up the preset that I want. But I can use the same button as tap tempo. So instead of having a dedicated tap tempo foot switch, which you still can do, this gives you the option of having your preset and then using the same button that the preset's on just to send out the tap tempo messages, which I love. Is really great. So there are 2 expression pedal inputs on the back of G2, and each expression pedal can send multiple CC messages out at the same time. Okay, so on the floor, I've got a Mission expression pedal from the Weather box. So that's on the floor. So we'll leave with this preset that we have here. So now I can control the tap tempo with that foot switch, but I want to control the effects level. So what I'm going to do, I go down into expression. With the expression pedal, I can control the pre-gain and post-gain. So it becomes like, you can control the volume going in or have like a master volume on the output. But I want this to control the mix control on the timeline. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the effect on. The timeline is in channel 2. Now, this also gives me the option of setting a different heel and toe position, right? So I'll show you what happens when I set the mix control on the timeline at the full range. Okay, so heel's at 0 and toe's going to be at 127, and that's the maximum sweep for a CC parameter. And the control number to control the mix on the Strymon is number 14. All right, there we go. So that's done. So now on this preset here, I can go back to 0 mix, or if I push the expression pedal forward, but what has happened now, because the expression pedal has gone all the way forward, I've lost my original dry signal. Because the mix control on the timeline basically goes from no mix. In the center position, it's like still dry, but fully wet. But all the way around, it's all wet. There's basically a kill dry. So what I want to do is set the expression pedal to only go halfway. Okay, so I go in here, back down to the expression pedal. And where I've got my toe position at 127, I'm going to make that 64. Okay, so I'll come out of that now. So now when I lean forward, I still have all the dry signal in there. And it might be that on the heel position, I want to keep a little bit of delay in. Say 10. So now on the heel position, a little bit of delay. So that level of control, being able to set the heel and toe position for different parameters that you're controlling is great. But also I can send multiple messages out with a single expression pedal. So you'll notice on the first video that came out on G3, there's a section there where you see the Chase Bliss, those are the Automatone pedals with the moving sliders on there. We've got the reverb version and the preamp, and you'll see the sliders basically going up and down, waving to each other. Now that's being done with an expression pedal, sending out two separate messages on two separate MIDI channels. And, being that there's two expression pedal inputs on G3, it's going to allow you to, control multiple things at once. One pedal can be your volume, one pedal can be controlling delay time or anything else from your MIDI devices. But there's a whole heap of MIDI power. Add to that there's a built-in MIDI clock and a 16-step MIDI sequencer sending out CC messages. So you can do things like control your delay time and, throw it all around the place, or control and change tremolo speed and things like that. So yeah, the MIDI in G3 is really powerful because of course you can change all of those per preset, so considering there's nearly 3,000 presets in here, there are so many options that it's really powerful, but a lot of fun.